We're 2 ways in. We don't know how to start anything. We're on the second one now.
I do not want to stab myself
And
at all.
we have better audio. Audio. Fuck.
I need more medication to deal with it.
There's not enough medication in the world to deal with this. Secrets and lies.
I love how Maria has more of a established crotch area than Rain.
It looks like she kind of has a lump there.
She's packing a little something.
Also, why the fuck are there like it looks almost like bullet holes and broken glass?
You can tell that she's used all her powers of manga art studio. Author's note, we just love the insight they give us into Jocelyn's dear little head. Whether you like it or not, a chapter page is a page.
Oh.
Sure, it offers no plot and might not even literally reflect... What? Sure, it offers no plot and might not even literally reflect any... I still have... This is my second time reading this sentence and I still have to pause. Is it just me?
Aside from the sentence structure, I see a problem with that, saying that you can't, that it's not even reflecting any scene within the chapter itself. Why would you even have that as a chapter page then? This does actually happen. So the fact that she even brings up, it's like, it might not even reflect any actual scene within there.
So the next day, Maria and Rudy were happy to include me as one of their friends.
First off, why the fuck are they, like, using male pronouns at all? They've known...
I don't understand that.
They've known her as Rain for a full day, and why would they start changing pronouns, like, right off the bat? I don't understand. Is it trying to say, hey, they're misgendering, which means, and it's a fear now, but it's hard enough for people to change it from one to the other for, like, if you're transitioning, but people aren't gonna do that if, like, hey, I've only known you as a girl. Oh, now I know you got a dick.
This makes more sense for Gavin because he did actually know her as Ryan. That makes sense. This doesn't. This is just like some Tumblr bullshit, basically. I also love with this page, you'll notice, I think after this point on, she stops doing the silhouettes. She actually starts coloring people that are kind of unimportant in. I mean, who is this guy? Who's this
No idea. He's apparently a random guy. According to the author's notes, he's a random guy.
Yeah.
We may never see him again. Or will we? Nah, I didn't care too much for his design. Oh boy. What's up with the lockers?
I forgot about the lockers. I think this is the only time she uses this effect as well.
It is.
I'm pretty sure.
Also,
I'm pretty sure what she's done is like she's directly because look, that's too smooth. They're way too smooth to be drawn by her at this stage. Look at the locker that Gavin has open and Rain has open as well. Actually, it's squashed.
Not even lined up.
Hey Rain, this is really kind of embarrassing. But do you have a spare pad by chance?
This is what I was actually going to ask you. Do girls actually do this?
If I were to ask anyone about this sort of like, do you have a pad? It would not be some random girl that's been there a day or a week.
That's
no. It would not be the new girl.
How much copy paste work was done here?
Oh, most of it. Because
the last two panels, basically they just got rid of this person. Just pulled her out. Done.
All that's really been done with Gavin as well. The first two panels, his eye moves. Then the second two panels, all that happens there is his mouth again changes and 3 lines. Like shock.
I think the second panel is the last 2 panels as well.
I'm going to ask you this. As a tranny, do you carry around tampons and pads?
No, I don't need them.
So why is Rain carrying these around?
Just in case someone asks. I just noticed. Third panel. What the hell happens to her skirt suddenly? It gets shorter.
Oh yeah, you're right. It does get shorter. What the fuck? And it defies gravity now. It's the magic of tampons.
Yeah. Look, you may
magic of tampons. They make your skirt short.
Oh my gosh. Oh god. The author's notes.
Yeah,
favorite joke pages to date. Man, tooting your own horn while you still had it. Rudy just goes ahead and asks a bunch of questions.
Do you like
How
guys
do
to
girls?
pee?
Do you like guys or
How do you
girls?
use the
Do you
boys'
use the
room or the
boys or girls?
Do you wear panties like that some guys and girls? What? If you were to like guys, do you wear panties
Do you
or
like guys or
Do you
girls?
sit to pee?
Why are you doing this? I'm very confused.
His legit first question of like, not do you still dress like this when no one is around, or like do you like guys or girls? Not even how do you make your boobs look so real. It's do you sit to pee?
Fucking Maria's face in the second to last panel. What the fuck? There's an explanation.
Is that? Oh my god.
There is.
Oh, welcome to my world.
I've been asked every last one of these questions at one time or another.
Many of them more than once. Who's asking you if you sit to pee? Jesus. What would be the first question you'd be more expected to be asked?
Well, I mean, the first question I was asked is like, so do you like guys?
That would be more logical than do you sit to do the pee pee? I mean, maybe one person has asked her this, but I doubt it's like the first question.
Oh, hey, the lesbian wants to know about your boobs because she's a lesbian and likes the boobs. Oh, look, she has a finger. She has an index finger.
Oh my god, they're evolving, Platty.
They're evolving.
They've evolved. She now has a finger.
Rudy has a finger too.
Oh my god.
They lose him.
Oh.
Look at the bottom of the page. They lose him.
Oh, that makes me so sad. Father Quentin.
He's quote unquote evil incarnate.
Absolutely a wig. This whole guy's design, I just can't get behind.
Hey, look, he's paying attention to one person and picking on them.
The phone kind of looks like a two-sided dildo.
Okay.
Does it not?
Damn it, I can kind of see the phallic shape now. I have something to point out. Once again, she was going to keep this whole gym class thing out of the story altogether and then decided to put it in. She's like, oh, I'm trying to make it realistic. But what about this fucking thing has been realistic up until this point? Nothing.
I've been thinking about this because I'm still in the planning stages of my own comic. The amount of shit I've changed in that since I first started doing this is amazing. What it feels like whenever I read these author's notes of her going, oh yeah, I had this in my plan, but I decided to change it because this felt better. It feels like she's going off the draft. As soon as she had it, she was like, fuck it, it's done. Let's get this shit on the road. And as a result, you get this. So this is Rain's older sister. Have you ever met a Kellen? I don't think I've ever met a Kellen. I've met a Callan.
No, never met a Kellen.
So basically her sister's just calling, being like,
I just want to know things about Ryan and blah, 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 blah.
That's pretty much the only point of this whole page.
It really is. There's not much to this.
I also love how in the author's note she has to be like, so be honest, how many of you forgot that Rain is the youngest of 3? Be honest with me. I'm gonna link to the exact page where they appear.
Noticing the wrong pronouns, totally unrealistic, immersion ruined.
Oh my god, that is a hint. My little brother is a tranny? Oh my god. But no.
Shoehorned in that name drop for the older brother too, and then mentioned it in the author's notes.
Aiken?
Aiken.
I've never seen that name before in my life. Kellen, Aiken. Oh my god.
What?
I just realized something right now. Kellen, Aiken, Ryan. The parents had a boner for names ending with N. Remember this? Remember this?
Oh look, she committed assault.
And it's totally fine. It's totally legitimate.
Yeah.
But,
oh, my hand slipped. That's something.
Oh my god.
That's oh my gosh, that's retarded.
Oh my god. You requested that she not participate in gym class due to asthma, but with no doctor's note, Father Quentin stuck her in my class. So that's basically just the whole thing. But it's also this lady going, with legitimate reasons, basically just telling the aunt, if Rain's asthma is really that bad, I should be able to reverse that as soon as I see a doctor's note, which is fair. There's not much I can do otherwise, but personally, my son has asthma too, but he's even on a team. Okay, that's maybe a bit like humble bragging, but even then, it's like, it's a parent. What do you expect? Parents humble brag about the kids all the time. And the last comment that she makes is just, so I'm wondering how bad it really is, or if maybe Rain is just making up excuses to get her way, which is not unfounded, because this is actually, as she said, an excuse to just not do gym.
Yes, it is. It absolutely is.
And then the thing that pisses me off about this page, Aunt Farah's internal dialogue here. If she's really that bad, maybe, I get a doctor's note and I can reverse it. And her going, no doctor is going to write down Rain.
Bullshit.
Oh, the doctor's note. Yeah, that's pretty bullshit because I mean, if I'm pretty sure like as they will write down whatever you want on a doctor's note, name wise. I
Yeah.
don't think that's really the problem here. The problem is you can't go because she doesn't have asthma. And then my son is on the team and even he has asthma. And her just going, well, la-di-da for your son not having a soul-crushing gender dysphoria. Just fuck off. Really? And then the assault. This gym teacher has no idea.
And also, and Farah was not trying to hurt her after all. Just shut her up.
Yeah, and it's still assault. And this poor lady has no idea. But okay, so now the ultimate reason why this page pisses me off,
Yes.
author's note. So she goes into some detail of like of Farah basically being I care so much about rain and all this shit. And the one line that really made me pissed off first from reading this was metaphorically speaking, Mrs. Parker was walking blindly into a lion's den and stepping on every tail along the way. She didn't know it, but she kinda had it coming. How is this justified when she had no idea what the fuck is going on? But then the other thing, as a side note, it was entirely unintentional, but the pairing of these two characters reminds me vaguely of Yukari and Yamo from Azumanga Daioh. Mrs. Parker wasn't originally meant to be that important of a character, but I think I'd like to explore more of this dynamic in the future.
Continuing that trend of being a rough draft all the way through.
The thing that pissed me off most about this page was the realization after reading the author's note of her major inspiration, especially art-wise, Azumanga Daioh. I a few months ago, I got Platty to sit down with me to watch some of Azumanga Daioh. She didn't like it as much. I love it just because it's fucking ridiculous, but also it's a classic. I've watched that a few times all the way through. I even have the actual manga. I bought it when I visited Platty. And reading that she had watched Azumanga Daioh and that these two character relations remind her of two very major characters, it made me sort of look at Rain in a slightly different light. So rereading some of the pages, it's very obvious whether she realizes it or not, how much of a comic is really inspired by Azumanga Daioh, such as this whole thing here. If anyone else watching this has ever seen Azumanga Daioh, you'll probably see what I mean. Of just certain aspects of it, like even the character designs. Certain character designs are very similar.
Yep.
Scarily similar. So you got anything?
Terrible manga.
Just study hall.
Study hall. Yeah. Comes and gets her, and then suddenly, fucking blam! Here's the
Fuck text.
yeah.
Well, she's not consistent with her shitty art, but she's very consistent with where she put this cover, this manga, and how it has to be minimized.
Yep. It's basically just a shrunk down version of the big panel. That's all it is. Maria in
What?
the in the small. Look at how Maria's shaped. Like her head is as big as her torso.
Then you look at the actual Black Wings Kaminari cover, and it's
Mm-hmm.
another case of is this her using bases, or is this what she can naturally do when she tries? Look, she actually knows how to do hands. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god. This here, it actually looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got shading, it's actually got anatomy that seems to work correctly. I'm not gonna say it's perfect. The legs are together until the knees,
Yes.
and the feet meet up again. That is a very common mistake people do when they draw anime pictures like this. Besides like little things like that though, the rest of it is pretty much perfect.
Author's notes. She's pointing to every single page where Rain's actually reading this
The author really loves
and
this
trying to
fake
even
manga.
and it's true because apparently there's a better synopsis of it somewhere else.
I actually looked at the actual FAQ for this last night because I was
Mhm.
curious. And she even brings it up there. Black Wings Kaminari is the fake manga in this universe, so that means you can't buy it on store shelves. Sorry, don't do this or that. It's like, oh my god.
It's it's
Yeah,
not that. Okay.
Look, I was thinking about it on the way over here. Maybe you can tell the teacher that changing in front of other people gets you anxiety and she let you use all of them. That face.
Maybe you could you just like put a stop sign over it and that would match up. Also, look at the differences between the like suddenly she goes from pointy nose to round nose to pointy nose. There's not really much with this page other than what we've already said. And author's notes, this is just a transitional page. So let's just transition to the next one. This one
In Mrs.
is.
Parker's office.
We just talked about going in there. You don't have to tell us. Okay, whatever.
Wouldn't you be able to tell you're in someone's office if you actually drew some kind of furniture in there? I doubt. I mean, I've been inside gym teachers' offices before, if you can even call them that,
Yeah, they're not really much of one. They're
because
messy.
they're
As
not really much. Yeah, it's cluttered. They're very cluttered. There's usually not this much space.
there's just no background to go off of. Moving forward from the gym, the office. Rain's paranoid. No one can see me. I don't want to be seen. And gym teacher makes a joke. I have X-ray vision. A gym teacher who just met this girl would make that joke? That's no.
That's more of a joke, like, if you're really friends with someone. That's a joke I would make because I'm trying to be an asshole.
Second, Rain's reaction is a little bit over the top.
It is, although if she's really like this paranoid and like this delusional that this is a thing that could possibly happen, I can see that reaction happening. Because people can be fucking insane.
Problem.
Problem?
How through a door, a very thick door, by the way, if you look at it, because you can actually see the cross section of the door, how would her scream be so loud that it would cause ears to ring? I don't think you're going to go deaf from someone who's on the other side of a wall.
Yeah, no. You're not, no, that's not gonna happen.
It's
Yeah.
supposed to be a joke.
It is, and it's just more things that this gym teacher's suffering for no apparent reason.
Yeah,
Except for Jocelyn deems it.
picking on her because she's an accidental transphobe. Hey, look, it's
Alright.
a Mary Stu page.
Merci.
Mary Stu. Oh yeah, very lesbo. Oh look, she even has
But
the
just
anime nosebleed.
also, why does Rain have hips? Okay, I know some men, like really feminine men, can have some kind of hips. It's possible, but this is
Also, why is she supposed to stand there
um
looking sexy like?
oh, I just realized something. Look at the thigh that's in front. It doesn't quite
I think it
it's
bends
not quite
backwards.
right. It bends.
It bends
Thighs don't
backwards.
bend like that.
This is where you put a ruler up next to it and just have a straight line and point out
No,
that it's
this is
bending
where I
backwards.
try to replicate this and being like, um, why is her leg broken?
Her leg is her thigh is backwards.
It's
Oh boy. Like
is this a
you have
genetic
this
condition?
yeah, you have this
Or
attempt.
is that no. Is that where her hip, like she got the stuff for her hip, but she just kind of grabbed it from the thigh and put it on her hip, and it was like, yep, that's effeminate.
Yep, got it. Oh yeah, and the lesbo will be all let me
Like
smash. Are you sure? Are you sure
Miss
about the
Miss
whole? Are you sure about the whole you're tranny thing? Oh, hey, look.
boys.
They mentioned that.
Uh,
They mentioned that. That Gavin and Maria are in a quote unquote relationship. I don't. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah, I this whole page is just like it keeps adding to the whole look at Rain, she is so fucking sexy, and it's like no.
Stop it.
Although I'm very glad that Rain managed to fix her thigh.
You put the fat right back there. I bet most of you don't
It's
even
weird.
care. She goes over. She names these people for her commenters
Yeah,
again in the author's
but the
notes.
funny
Names
thing
them.
is, I think these are the exact same people. Remember that page in the last chapter where she was going in the author's note, like, yeah, most of these random kids don't really matter. They may not even reappear again and all that shit. And yet now she's like, they have names.
They have names. I bet most of you don't even care. I bet you're still hung up on the word girlfriend.
Gavin is stomping angrily in our direction.
So
So
this is kind of like, oh hey, look, she names these people in the author's notes again.
I'm used to reading about the juicy stuff of face space, but it's cool to see it live. Like, what the fuck?
Man, all these knockoff brand things, it's just annoying. It seems like she's suspicious of Rain already, and it's like, how?
Because she squeaked.
That's it. That's the only reason. And
That's it.
she's begging for attention, and she's lying about something because of all this now. Just
It's very
okay,
strange.
Miss Sherlock slash premonition haver, I guess. I don't
Where's our teacher during all this?
self-aware.
You point out the issue, it doesn't make it go away. He hadn't talked to her in years,
And suddenly,
apparently.
yeah, in years, and then
It's like,
suddenly, boom, a best
okay,
friend from your childhood comes up
like I
and
can understand the childhood friend aspect of it, of like your friend from childhood thought she could open up to you again, and you walked away.
but you
You can't go about saying like someone that was a childhood friend during your younger years
and then
is
shows
now
up.
your best friend. It's not quite how that works.
People gotta understand what other people have to go through with transitioning. Like, for fuck's sake. I'm so sick of that. Then the gym teacher
Yeah,
finally shows up after this
I
argument.
just also like how they're doing this. They're saying all this really loudly in
And
a gym where gyms usually echo.
yeah, you can
They will
whispering
echo.
and whispering. They're not going to be talking. People are already paying attention to this. They're going to be quiet and listening.
So you didn't want Rain's thick to get out. So you scream at each other in the middle of the gym. Okay. Can I just ask this though? Is it normal for American gym classes to have separate classes for boys and girls?
No,
Because that's what's going on here. When you look at
well,
the author's note, the boys also have their own gym teacher.
wait, what?
But
That's so weird.
so
At
yeah,
least
I
I
thought that was
don't.
weird too. Because
Yeah,
we never separated.
there
We were
were
always in the
always.
same group. In the author's note, she brings up, I'd like to point out that the boys would have their own gym teacher, as the boys and girls would naturally be separated during this class. Incidentally, I didn't think of anyone for that role yet, though, so we're just going to pretend he's really late for whatever reason.
The fuck does that
After school.
damn girl got big feet?
I just. That whole pose.
There's something very wrong. I feel like her body's too small.
I think her legs are a bit too long, and her head's slightly too big, and her body's just bent too far down. Oh, and this whole page, this random girl. Oh, she actually doesn't mention in the page like who this person's name is. That's the first.
It's the weird, funny thing. That
But
person's on the character page. So, Rain's crying. Apparently, there's trouble in the fake relationship that we just found out about.
oh
And,
no,
yeah, that's pretty much all that's to this thing.
crying again, Rain. God, you're such a girl sometimes. That'd be kind of funny if it wasn't in this comic. Yeah, so basically, there's not really a lot to say about this page. It's just setting up like story time with Rudy. Want to know how they got together? Do you want to find out? Do you want to find out?
No.
Black
Next
and white,
page.
except for rainbow wristband.
Oh my gosh, I just. Oh my
You never
goodness.
noticed that?
Never
That was like the
noticed that.
first thing I noticed when I read this the first time. I was like, oh, of course. Of course, that's the only thing with color in it. Originally, the idea was that we would come out together to make it easier, but she got nervous and backed out. So I chose to go ahead and do it anyway to show her it wouldn't be so bad. Operator, I need an old priest and a young priest. My baby's going to hell. How could I let this happen? The operator thing kind of is a slight chuckle from me just because it's like, it's so ridiculous. But this is another aspect of Rain. Shitty parents. Okay, I will say, I don't doubt that there's probably people out there, they'll come out to the parents and they'll be like, you're going to hell, how could you do this, and all that kind of crap. And I can see that, parents like that, if it was a young kid, they'd send you to like a Catholic school environment. It's the next page I get more issues with this backstory. Because
Yes.
again, I can see if you're being sent to a school for being a gay person. Maybe the principal might be a bit iffy towards you. Staff watching you get bullied and not do anything. I can't see staff just doing that.
That's
That doesn't.
literally starting to put, like, well, he's gay, so the entire world's against him because he's gay, and they're in
Yes.
a Catholic school because
And
Catholics are bad.
I can also see maybe a few students here and there being like, "Oh, you're gay," blah, 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 blah. But especially these days, that is a minority. These days, it is better for you to be gay than it was, what, 20 years ago? And the same goes for being trans. It's better to be trans these days than it was 20 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have a job, so.
Which is why I have such a big problem with these pages and this backstory she's given these characters, because it's like it's so unrealistic for this day and age. Unless these kids are supposed to be going through school in the 1990s or early 2000s or some shit. This just doesn't happen today.
No.
Or at least not on this level.
Rudy, he just comes in and outright
Dude, she's a
says things.
lesbian. At least she's been consistent with his character somewhat, though. Gavin's character, I mean. He doesn't tend to just let things go without explanation.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
probably the most realistic personality thing I've seen yet. Wanting an explanation. And it's probably accidental. Hey, look, they became good friends.
So moral of the story, Platty, what do you do when you want to become good friends with someone?
You tell them they're a lesbian.
Really, all this is, and all that story was
that, hey, they became good friends. Hey, they hung out a lot around each other, and because people tend to like, hey, there's a girl and a guy hanging out, that must mean they like each other. So, hey, they started going out, quote unquote.
And all this is just
Angrily hung up.
There's nothing. It's just them fighting even more. It's stuff people already know. It's been hashed over, and
next,
the poster in the background.
What is that?
Halloween Princess Pandora. So it's another fake thing in this world. I found it later on because I was really curious because it appeared again. And I had a look at it, and my first thought was, is this like a discount Miku Hatsune?
Rudy's face.
Which one? There's so many.
The very middle of the comic, I would say. The one where he is just surrounded by speech bubbles. Come on now.
It's like he's missing his lower jaw. I also love how Marie was just staring at the wall. As you do. I find myself doing that all the time. I just stand in my room, look at the wall.
Also, Mary Stu.
Mary Stu? Yes.
Stu, because Maria got the hots for her.
Oh, Kellen, hey, I was just about to call you. Totally, yeah. I'm not avoiding my own niece at all.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
So much text.
It's the same complaints we always have. But basically, all it is Kellen going,
yes, I can see my twin brother. I haven't seen him for like a week now. And, he got this girlfriend and he just kind of disappeared, Have you seen him? Hasn't he talking to Ryan? Like, maybe they have a male bond thing going on.
Oh, hey, there's supposed to be a joke there. But,
author's note, she goes, you sent Kellen, remember? Pharaoh was supposed to call her back, and links to the page.
Oh my gosh. She explains the psychic link joke.
If you don't understand that joke, then I don't know what planet you've been living on. Kellen going, like, I'm so excited, I'm gonna talk to Ryan. And Rain just kind of bullshitting, going like, I'm doing homework, but Japanese lit. And she has to tell the name of the bunny.
It's just very, oh, look at me. I did really good at making this pose. And actually drew fingers. Oh my god. I just noticed
that. Yeah, you drew fingers.
She drew fingers.
You drew fingers and then you stopped.
And then stopped. Like 2 panels and then there's no more fingers after that.
Like, okay, I get it. Fingers are hard, but the only way you're gonna learn is if you actually do it. Like, you can't do mitten hands forever. I'm not gonna lie, this is the phone conversations I tend to have with extended family. Of just, so, how are you? Good. And how's school? 1 more year? Yeah. What do you want to do after high school? I don't know yet. Aunt Farah tells you you've made some new friends. Kinda. You probably didn't need to have the last bits of the page. You probably could have just left it. Like, here you go, Aunt Farah, and just, like, cut it off there, because you get the picture. Text, oh, holy text.
Coming out to your family.
The last panel I don't really quite get. Her going, I don't know why you're getting stiffy with me. It isn't my fault. Look, Rain, if you don't want to tell any more people at school about this, that's fine, but this is your family. What, are you just going to avoid them for the rest of your life? And then Rain's shocked, and then suddenly Aunt Farah's just like hugging her and going, seriously, hun, don't sweat it. For every one person who shuns you, there will always be 2 more who accept you.
Okay.
And it's like, oh my god. No, I don't quite get what's turned her in this instance of being like, you can't hide forever, and then suddenly coddling her.
If you're an emotional sap like me, you will probably like this page. If you're jaded and cynical, you can change the title to this page in your mind to Barf-Inducing Sugar Fluff and see if that helps you like it any better. Last page. Okay.
Look at this page, though.
It's
Look at it.
literally like
It's them at the very bottom of the page, is them lying, well, Rain lying on a bed, and Aunt Farah just still sitting there fucking awkwardly. And then the rest of the page, it's just text. You don't need this. You don't need this.
so much
And
text.
then ignoring that though, let's go right to the author's note of, if you're having trouble reading this page, you're probably thinking too hard. Just read it down. You're telling me if I'm having trouble reading this page, I'm probably thinking too hard?
It's basically just like, I guess, trying to deepen the relationship between Aunt Farah and Rain, or make her try to get Rain more assured of things.
Because then there's a third option I have of just being like recapping it slightly.
Here's the first two
Huh,
chapters.
remember how you got all those notes from the guys on your first day? I mean, remember how like you're totally a tranny and you're trying to present yourself as a female through your last year of school? I think about it even more, and there's a fourth option of just being she needed something to finish it off properly. Because this is the last page in this chapter. And if you look at the previous page, I kind of have to agree with her on the fact of this doesn't seem like a good place to end it. This page that she has here is not the answer.
It
It's
was not a good choice.
What she probably should have done is actually had a few more pages and not just have it all on the one page. But hey, at least that's it.
We made it
We
through
made it.
the second chapter. It's painful.
Holy
Every
shit.
single step sucks, but we did it. We did it. Somehow, we did it.
We got there in the end. It took us, what, how long?
We are now 2 hours and 6 minutes in.
Okay, cool. That's still less than last time.
Please leave comments and tell us how you guys feel about us continuing to do these things. We do like feedback and making sure that we're not just torturing ourselves for no reason whatsoever. So
yes, please do.
Please, begging you. Thanks, guys, for watching.
Thanks. You wonder why, like, when we wear all the short skirts? It's because tampons.
It's the only reason. They get sucked up in there. Rain's being a Mary Sue, or Mary Stew.
Oh my god.
Because she's so pretty.
No, it's a Gary Sue, wasn't it? Or Mary Stew. Which one was it?
It's Mary Stew.
Mary Stew.
Mary Stew.
Oh my god, we can't even remember our terms. I can't even remember our terms.
It's Mary Stew because remember, I changed my first name, but the last name stayed.
Ah, right.